Freebies are the new normal in Indian election. Freebies are an essential tool for political parties to woo voters. Every party makes a slew of promises, so much so that winning without offering seems nearly impossible. The freebie culture has now become deeply ingrained in Indian politics. But on Wednesday, Supreme Court came heavily on freebie culture. The SC observed that such handouts are discouraging people from working as they are getting free rations and money. Justice Gawai said, and I quote, "Unfortunately, because of these freebies, the people are not willing to work. They are getting free ration, they are getting amount without doing any work." This is not the first time Supreme Court has pulled up the government of issue of freebies. This is not the first time the government has been pulled up on the issue of freebies. Last year, it had asked the Centre and Election Commission to respond to a petition challenging the practice of political parties offering freebies during election campaigns. So the freebie is a big issue. Let me go across to Professor K.G. Suresh. The Supreme Court has come down on freebies. I mean, so this is an eternal debate. What is a freebie and what is a welfare mechanism? But do you think that there will be some course correction after this observation of the court, or you think that it's going to be business as usual, sir?
Well, it should be, because the Prime Minister himself had talked about reveries some time back. But Karthikeya, as I have said in your shows earlier also, this cannot happen in competitive politics unless there is a consensus among political parties. Because if one political party is going to announce it and the other one is not going to announce it, it really does not make any sense. What is welfare and what is freebies need to be delineated. The simple reason is that, for example, free education for girls. Now, that is the need of the hour. That is not a freebie. Or for that matter, midday meals. That's not a freebie. You see, this has been happening for the last several decades. But imagine, currently 81 crore people. We have a population of 142 crores. Out of this, 81 crore are getting free or subsidized ration. How long can we sustain it in the long run? Can people just travel in buses free of cost just because they are women? Now we are talking about entitlements now. It is no more about economic criteria. It is about being a woman, you can do that. Being a, student, anybody can get a computer or a laptop free of cost. You see, this is public exchequer. It cannot be distributed like that. It is not only going to impact the fiscal, our entire fiscal scenario, but also, as the Honorable Justice Gawai rightly said, it is going to make a long-term impact on our work culture as a nation. Justice Gawai gave example of what is happening in Maharashtra because he himself comes from an agricultural background. But I have seen it in Odisha, I have seen it in other states where if you are getting full meal, free meal for 5 rupees, why should the farm laborer come and work? So you are killing the working spirit in him. You are saying, don't work, we will feed you, we will spoon feed you. Tomorrow, we are talking about industrialization, we are talking about entrepreneurship. Who will be interested if this is the kind of work culture that we are going to create, that without doing anything, sit at home and you can? What is important is that I am not saying these people don't deserve. Please, but empower them. You might have heard about that old saying in English that if you give a fish to somebody, you are feeding him for a day. But if you teach him to fish, he will earn every day. So let us empower them, give them employment. Like, for example, Manrega was there. The whole idea was that make them work, let national assets be created, let social assets be created, let infrastructure in villages be built, and
Correct.
pay them in lieu of that. But that work culture as a nation, we need to. So freebies is not just about fiscal.
I think Suresh, I've really run short of time, but you really hit the nail on its head. I think we have progressed from the issue of freebies to entitlement. That I am this,
Absolutely.
so I will get this. And I think this is going to prove too costly for the state's exchequer, because the leadership changes, political party come to power, they are out of power, but ultimately the fiscal health and the outlook of the people needs to change, that something has to give away. These are tough debates, for example, the creamy layer in the reservation sector, or who should get what and till what time. And my idea and my understanding is that these tough questions are not being taken head on, because electorally they might become disastrous for you. And I think it is for this most of these issues persist and most of these economic policies continue to exist. Thank you so much, Suresh.